Good morning, somatic warriors. How is everyone on this fine, bright, sunny morning? The sun is gonna come right over the top right now. I thought I was gonna get into the market and out and have this done before the sun came over the top of that building, and that's just not the case right now. So I'm gonna real quick just pop these up while I'm chatting. Not my favorite thing to do, but you know, not everything can be curated. And I was having a conversation with somebody about that very thing, about being curated and like planning every moment and setting up the image or the space. And sometimes it's important to do that. Sometimes it's important to set up a sacred space. If we're meditating, sometimes, depending on the tradition, if it's Zen or somatic meditation, or we're in a group with other people, or we're in a large setting where maybe we can't control the temperature, or even just at home, sometimes maybe you like to have incense burning, maybe a crystal that you hold in your hand, or maybe a particular mudra that you're working with that day. You may need a prayer shawl, depending on temperature. You may have a bowl that you want to work with to open this space and close the space. So sometimes curating a setting, depending on intention, is really important. And other times it can be a facade, like a crafted image that isn't really authentic, isn't really true to the moment. And I think that that can also happen in the body if we're not really present in the moment, if we're curating an experience of our body and not really dropping down and inhabiting the true essence of our body. That can be problematic, I think. Certainly it has at times been challenging for me if I'm, wearing a certain dress and I'm going to an event and I'm like holding in my breath because I want to tuck in my belly or whatever the situation is. That's not really an authentic experience of being in my body. It's curated. I'm cultivating an image in this outfit. I'm walking a little awkwardly because I have 3-inch platform heels on, which I don't normally wear. I run around in, reefs most of the time. So, me trying to get the sunshade up this morning is about as much curation as I could do. And I've been thinking a little bit about that, how I can sometimes get in my own way. I've been wanting to get this channel up and going for a while, somatic wisdom, and sharing embodiment practices and having conversations with people around embodiment, what that looks like for different people, how they have found their way into their own bodies, and what that can look like, because it's not just what I think it is. It can be many things, and I'm going to have a guest on very soon, probably sometime in January, where she has paired flying with embodiment. I am so excited to talk to her. We have not chatted in years, and I'm just really excited to hear about her journey with this. And so, it doesn't look like what we think it looks like, but the intention behind the channel is really the sense of curiosity. What does it look like for different people? What might it look like for you? And what does it look like for me? Because I can only share my experience, but inviting other people to share theirs is important to me because it's so diverse. And one of the things I've noticed in the last year, because I started this channel in January of last year, I didn't quite know what the content was going to be when I set up the YouTube channel in January, February of this year. Not last year, but this year. It's still this year. It's still 2023. We're only in December. I still have a few more weeks to go before it's next year. But you know, one of the challenges for me has been around, you know, well, I want it to look professional, and I want it to, you know, I want to have the right background, and I want to have, you know, jewelry and makeup on, and I want to be, you know, taken seriously, and I wanted it to be curated. And that's not my life right now. That's not my life right now. It hasn't been my life for a really long time. There is no curating a scenario when you had to live in your car for 2 months, you know? There's no curating a setting when you're staying on someone's couch and it's really crowded and there's a bunch of stuff everywhere and it's super dark. That's been fine for my Zoom participation in other teachings, but I haven't really felt comfortable doing the videos in that setting. But that's my own mind, you know, that's my thinking about all the things, you know, yada yada. The list can be really circuitous and long. Can become a vortex of procrastination, I think was a word that came up the other day, which I found really interesting. So, so this morning I'm in the car. I'm on my way to work. I have to keep an eye on the time, 7 minutes, okay, in. And so this idea of curating the body experience and presentation of the body versus the authenticity of being in the moment in the body, and what does that look like? So maybe something to think about. And I wanted to do something a little different today. I wanted to invite you, because I'm going to do this for myself, because I was driving and thinking, what's happening in my body right now? You know, what am I noticing? So I just want to invite you to take a deep breath. And take another deep breath. And what do you sense in your body? What are you noticing? What's present? What are you conscious of? What's absent? Is there an absence of pain? Is there an absence of a particular sensation? Does one area of your body feel hot or cold? You can place a hand there. I tend to notice a lot of cold right here, which probably is not very good. Maybe depleted breath, some leftover grief. Where am I not speaking my truth? If we're talking about chakras, it's very close to the throat chakra. And overall, my body runs hot. So, you know, this absence of warmth right here can be a little concerning. So then my mind starts to run, and I kind of have to bring that back. So my list, you know, just briefly includes the rash around my mouth, the bald patches on my head where I'm still losing hair. Noticing a little hunger this morning. I haven't eaten yet, and I do need to do that before I go in to play with this sweet baby today. I'm doing some nanny. Talk about being in the present moment. Doing some nanny work. Nanny love. And now my heart is starting to race a little bit as I say that. So there's both and. There's a lot of love and a lot of joy there, but it's also a little, overwhelming and a little daunting sometimes. It's been a long time since I've spent hours with babies. So I notice a little anxiety coming up for me. This feels warmer now, a little bit of coolness in the throat. So I'm just going to send a little love there, a little energy, a little warmth, a little intention. And what are you continuing to notice as you can call it a body scan, you can start from any place. This is just really about awareness and just beginning to cultivate if this is new for you. And I feel the sun on my left arm, which is so nice because this arm really is problematic. After I spent 2 months living in my car and sleeping in my car and sleeping in the front seat of my car, this left arm has been continuously cold. And those months were very cold at night, no matter how many blankets or how often I ran the heat. But the cold from being so close to the door is just in this arm now, and it's really uncomfortable. And so that sun just feels amazing. So while you've been listening to me, I hope that you've been able to pay attention to what's been happening in your own body, what you're noticing, your breath, any tension, any smells, any sounds, engaging the senses a little bit, listening for a sound very near to you, like maybe even something internal, little digestive noises, activation there, something far away. I can hear the freeway from where I'm at, not too far from it, but it's definitely more distant. So I just wanted to share that as an invitation to being in the body and cultivating a little bit of attention and awareness of our body. My rash is really annoying. I try not to think about it too much, but it's there. I don't know what to do about it, but it's there. And so I just get to be with that right now. And I'm sure it's an indication of something, but I can't stress about it. There's only so much that we can do, but messages from the body are important. We'll talk more about that in future videos. But today that's what I wanted to focus on, this cultivation of presence in our environment and in our body. And I hope that you have a wonderful day today and that you are taking good care of yourself. I have some hydration. I have breakfast here. I have a decaf coffee. I'm very excited about my decaf coffee. And I'm gonna eat something really quick, and then I'm gonna go in and spend some present moment awareness with this sweet little 3.5-month-old, almost 4-month-old. So please take care, be nourished, and I will see you soon.